Welcome everyone here to the Smash Board Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in WA and speak with the reigning champions. Of course, over there in the Western Australia Netball League competition. They just, well, as a club, they didn't win one. They won 3 premierships. They clean swept the competition. And of course, we've got 2 very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position did both of you play on grand final day in your respective teams.
I'm Annabelle. I'm one of the goalkeepers from the Opens team, and I played goalkeeper on the grand final day.
Yeah, my name's Connor, and on grand final day I played wing attack most of the game. Yeah, so it was pretty good.
Now, it was a pretty magical day for the Western Roar. Both your games were right after the
20 and unders played the first time slot of the afternoon, and then it was I think it was Opens next in the middle, and then the men's finished it off. So it was
the other way.
Really
I think it was.
Oh, sorry, was it men's and then
Opens?
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
because it was hard being the last one of the day, watching both of you win, and then having that pressure at the end that we had to finish it off.
Yeah, it was after the 20s won their one. It was just it felt like a lot of pressure, but couldn't imagine what it felt like to be the girls going into it.
Well, let's just answer my next question I was going to ask anyway. So with the 20s winning early in the day, how much, I guess, well, because I think you just mentioned how much pressure was going into it. What was it like? Obviously, you had to wait for the 20s to finish for you, Connor, and then obviously for you, Annabelle, you had to wait for the men's to finish theirs. I guess, when did it get to a point it was like, oh, we have to at least win because their 20s had sort of set the bar?
Yeah, they set a really high bar coming out and beating. I think there was a top 2 clash from the whole year, basically. So they set up a really good day, and we were, as the men's team, were undefeated. So there was, I suppose, probably added pressure at times, because if we lose one game all year and it's the grand final, it's a bit of detriment to how you went all year, I suppose. So I think we were confident going into it, but yeah, there was always that little 2 things in the back of your mind after the 20s one as well. And then, I can't imagine how the Opens felt.
I think us going into the grand final, we were very much still the underdogs, coming up against Warriors again for the 3rd time in 4 years. So they were definitely the favourites to win. So I think that kind of helped that we kind of went in. Of course, we wanted to win, but there wasn't that added pressure. We just go out, play our best, and just kind of see what happened. But it was definitely a good relief knowing that the 20s won and the men's won, so at least we didn't get none from 3. That would have been a terrible scenario.
Annabelle, you mentioned about that rivalry, of course, with the Warriors, which just seems to be a real rivalry between yourselves and the West Coast Warriors in the finals. I guess, how good was it to snatch that Premiership Cup, which, rightfully should be returning back to the Western Roar?
Absolutely. It was pretty good, and it was such a tight year. We started playing them round 3 or 4, where we did an exhibition match up in Karratha, and we didn't get the result we wanted then, and it was a bit of a blowout. But then when we came up against them the second time, we beat them by 1 goal. So that really kind of gave us the confidence that, we can do it. But then when we came up against them in the semi-finals, we didn't get the job done that day. So it was really incredible seeing that on the grand final day, when it really mattered most, that we could really execute it and get it done. It was probably one of the best feelings ever. It's pretty good.
Was there any point in your grand finals that you got a chance to enjoy the moment, knowing that, the result was beyond doubt?
For the men's, there was. I think it was pretty tight for the first half. Probably, I think we were only up, or even maybe we were down 2. I can't even remember. But it was very close going into half time, and then we kind of pushed it out to over 10 or 12 goals in the 3rd, and then I played a bit more in the fourth and then came off, and I kind of knew then when I got taken off that we were in a really comfortable position. Everyone was playing really well out there, so there was no worries. Sitting on the bench watching on, it was really exciting to see it all unfold.
For the Opens, we were down the first half, so we were under quite a lot of pressure going into half time, but we came out third quarter and had a real good crack. And once we kind of got underneath their skin, they didn't really have any other structures to go to. Whoever they brought on court, it just wasn't quite working. But I don't think we had quite a period where we knew, okay, we've got this, or at least I never felt like that until probably the last couple minutes, when you know that you're up enough that they can't get an extra 10 goals in that time.
No, obviously we haven't got anyone from the 20s in the 20s with us, but I'm sure both of you would have watched the match. I guess more so, I guess the men's had to prepare for theirs, but when you both of you, I'm sure you got to watch the 20s play, was there any point in that game that you felt that they had it under control and they got a chance to enjoy the moment?
I don't think so. I think they were very, very close the whole game. I remember sitting on the couch being quite nervous watching, even down to the last few minutes. But I can't really remember what the margin was. Yeah,
I think it was about like 5 to 7 to 9 even at most throughout like the second, third quarters and fourth quarter, I suppose. So it was always really in the balance, and I think they did really well to finish it off. And it was probably similar to the Opens, whereas the last maybe minute or two where they could have a little bit of relief knowing it was kind of out of reach for the other team.
Was it a relief or celebration once that final whistle went?
Celebration.
Yeah, it was celebration. It was a good celebration for the men's because we completed the undefeated run throughout the year, so it was more like a big celebration for that as well. But yeah, Annabelle can talk about the celebration after theirs, after the three-peat.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. We obviously a lot of us were in tears. It was a big relief that we had finally got it done after 4 years of trying to win this premiership. But then we had all the 20s team and the men's team run onto the court and all have a huge celebration together in the middle. We're all screaming three-peat. It was pretty good. I think there's some filming of it that has been posted online. It was pretty cool experience. I think it's only been done maybe once or twice before in the competition. That was Demons.
Correct.
10+ years ago. So yeah.
And that would only be with 2 teams as well. Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Who got to hold the Premiership Cup first for your respective teams?
For the men, it would have been our captain. I think he would have got to hold it first. So Dylan would have got to hold it probably with Andrew, our coach, I think, and then a few of the younger boys, younger than me, got out there pretty quickly to get their hands on it. So I think maybe Dan and Jordan got amongst it, but yeah, it was very exciting.
I think Tessie and Mads got to hold ours first because they were our captains as well, and definitely deserved it. They're the more experienced players that have been in the game a really long time, so that would have been a pretty amazing thing for them to have captained the team and then get to hold the trophy first.
When you got your premiership medals, how long did you wear it, and did either of you sleep with it?
I think I probably did. I had a late night after that game, and I don't think I took it off for a few days.
Yeah, I definitely wore it all night. I might have put it somewhere safe when I went to bed, so I didn't maybe rip it from being able to be hung around my neck again. But it was worn a few more times after that at some other events in our end of year celebration as well. So it didn't get hung up straight away for no extra use, I suppose, after that.
I probably should have done that. The side of mine has actually ripped the fabric around it, so I should have taken Connor's word for that.
Yeah.
Get a chance to kiss the Premiership Cup at any stage?
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was there was a lot of hugging and probably kissing of the cup. Yeah, all night.
All night by whole team, and I think even some parents as well. So
Yeah.
everyone wanted a piece of the cup.
I'm assuming you will almost be back into it very soon for the 23 season. Am I correct?
The pre-season started last week, so we're back into fitness and doing some court work and skills, and we have a strength and conditioning program this year that's also incorporating some gym work as well. So that's starting on Friday night. So yes, we're back into it because the season starts earlier this year, or next year. It'll start in March. So we've got to bring pre-season forward as well.
Title defense, is it on now? Because now, you got over, the celebration and the drinks and everything like that of winning the Premiership 2 months ago. Is it now back to, trying to make it another three-peat in a back-to-back year?
Yeah, I think we're pushing again for another three-peat. It'll be hard to top what we did this year, but I suppose we know how to do that again from what we did this year. So we'll get back to work and put all the basics back together again at the start of this or the end of this year, and then really hit our straps hopefully coming March next year.
Connor, now I believe your netball season didn't quite end on grand final day. Did you represent Australia just recently down here in Melbourne?
I didn't. I had a few friends in the team that did. We had 5 representatives from WA, which was really, really special across the tests that they did, and also the Fast 5 that went on a couple of weeks after that. So yeah, they all got to represent them, and Dill, Stu and Dan from Raw, and Draven was a train on for us this year. So they all got to obviously represent them, and they all got to play and start in that last game, which was pretty special for them in the series, and they won that one. So it was a super spectacular week or two, or I suppose they were away for a month, but yeah, a couple of weeks of watching them on court and on TV. It was really special.
Now, Connor, you don't have to answer these next couple because you've already answered this last year. So really, these questions go to Annabelle, really. When did you start playing netball, and why did you choose it?
I started playing netball in year 3, and I started playing it because it was what everyone at school played. So I wanted to fit in and have fun on the weekends with my friends. So that's why I started netball. But netball was one of many sports I played growing up: t-ball, tennis, swimming. So it was probably it is the one that I stuck with the most because I did have success in it, and I also loved the game as well. So yeah, that's why I chose to go down the netball route.
For both you both mentioned about what position you both play on the court. If you had a dream position where you'd love to convince the coaches to put you next season, where would that be? Please be honest.
I would choose wing attack because I feel like wing attack is the fastest and speediest position, which is not what I am. So that has always been my dream.
Probably goal attack, or or even maybe goalkeeper. Just getting to see the ball coming down and get to have a fly and stuff like that would be fun, but I'm not tall enough, unfortunately.
What does the sport of netball mean to both you, and especially playing for Western Raw?
For me, especially playing for Western Raw, we started back in late 2017 was my kind of pre-season. That would have been the start of that, and having not left since that time, it's been really special, and it's I think the club really has made it so welcoming for everyone who's come and gone since then and stuck around, especially for the men's pathway, making it obviously a really accepted thing over here in WA, and we get to showcase what we can do out on court. It's can't really thank the club enough for that, and it's been really special.
I grew up back from when I was in year 7, just doing regional comps with the club, and I've stayed with them since. Coming up, I think by year 10, I was in a WANL team, and then that was under 18s by then, and then built my way up into reserves, then that comp left, and then into league. So I think it's a bit of a testament to the club that I've never left and I've stayed around. And I think the thing that I love the most is the culture and the people that are in the club and around really make it worthwhile hanging around. I'm not just there just to exercise and just put out my best netball. I'm there to also put together something with like-minded people that I really like, and put together a product that we're happy with and strive for a common goal.
Yeah, definitely lifelong friends have been made because of the club. So yeah, it's really special.
Now, I have never asked any of my netball guests on the shows. I think WA is the only state that has a men's competition incorporated in their state league competition. So for both of you, and especially, I guess this is more for you, Connor, how important is the men's competition over in WA, and especially incorporating that in the same time slots with the 20s and the Opens competition?
I think it's really helped the competition overall. I think men's netball is growing every every month or so. You get to see more and more of it, especially seeing the Oz team get to play and getting like on TV and getting streamed and stuff like that. It's definitely helping, and every month or two you feel like it's growing bigger and bigger. It's like, we're so grateful to be able to play at the same time and be, amongst the best netballers in WA from all the other clubs. And I think it's helped the competition a lot because they get to see different, maybe a different way the netball's played, and not that it's too different, but you get to see different athletes out there. And we definitely work a lot in Western Raw. We work a lot with the girls in different stages during trainings and things like that. So we learn a lot off the girls. They learn some stuff off us, hopefully, and we definitely grow in that sense as a club, being able to work with everyone. So I'm hoping that more clubs can get amongst it. We're only at 4 at the moment, but hopefully we can push into 5, 6, and slowly expand the competition to be every team having a men's team, and then eventually one day have some underpinning like 20 and unders and things like that. But yeah, just starting slowly, it's been really good.
I absolutely agree. Getting to train alongside the men has been so beneficial to our team's gameplay. They often train at the same time slot as us, and we do match play with them when we're in the season, once a fortnight or so. And they definitely have different skills to what we do, but getting to play on them really makes us prepared for the competition that we'll come up against without getting, too used to playing on our competition, having to organise scratch matches with the other clubs. It just makes it really, really easy for us to be able to practice and put out what we have been training into some match play. It's really good. And it's so good to see each year that we get more and more young men players coming up through the development squads that we've got. And then each year there's always 1 or 2 that then get elevated into our men's team, which really shows that there is a slow developing pathway for these young men netballers.
What would be your advice to our listeners out there that should get involved in netball?
For anyone, there's definitely stuff. There's always stuff out there to get involved in, whether that's your social, like social comps, or obviously your Saturday netball and stuff like that. But for the boys, there's stuff everywhere. If you look online, and parents can do that as well, get online and just see what's out there, contact different people from the different states. They'll have emails and things like that you can get in touch with and see if you can get involved in the game that way. But yeah, it's the men's side of it's growing. Like I said, it'd be nice if it grew faster, but yeah, it's growing. So the more people that get involved, the better it's going to be. And it's a really exciting sport to play. As a male, it's it gives you everything you want and more.
As one of the biggest female sports that there is in Australia, it is really competitive to make your way up the pathway as a young female netballer. But I guess advice to them would just be to put in all your effort that you can at trainings and games, and make sure you do the stuff outside of time, the little 1%ers, like eating well, sleeping well, doing that little bit of extra running or footwork skills, just to put yourself above the rest of the competition, to put yourself in the best position to progress up the pathway.
Let's finish off with a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moments on the court this past season, and what was it?
I can think of Chelsea. Chelsea. Gosh. I just remember seeing a video, kind of a bit of a meme created about her tripping over a player or something, falling backwards, and a little song that went with it. I know that was pretty funny.
Dylan loves to cut our embarrassing snippets and put it up on our social media. So we should probably put up a highlights on there.
Yeah, probably like a 2022 compilation of something.
All
our worst moments.
Yeah.
I can't even think of many more. I'm sure there's heaps.
How do I knew Chelsea was going to be in that answer? I'm pretty sure she was in the last year's answer as well.
Yeah, she probably was.
yeah, I think she was. So who's the comedian, the best singer, and internet TikTok / Be Real?
I would have to say comedian. I would probably give it to Dylan. He loves to shred us all and make fun of us all, but he does share it around, but does make for entertaining trainings.
Yeah, I like Mitch, or Mitch's interactions with Dill sometimes. Yeah, they're pretty funny. They always we like taking the mickey out of each other a little bit. So little comments here and there are always funny. But yeah, definitely that. TikToker would be Trin across, I reckon, the competition. but Trinity would be up there. I don't have TikTok, so I don't follow her, but I know she's always making little videos and stuff like that. Annabelle can probably attest to that more.
She would often come down to training half of an hour early and get a few others that wanted to join in videos and create something. Always good fun. And I think best singer, I would think I'd probably give it to Dan Cools.
Yeah, he definitely rates himself.
Yeah. He's definitely best at karaoke, so we'll give that to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone, probably one of the 20s. They're probably the ones that are more into it. I wouldn't have a clue
getting
at
too
the
old
moment.
for all this.
Yeah. Yeah, probably one of the 20s. Like, I don't even know. Not sure.
No, that's all right. That's fine.
Don't want to throw someone under the bus.
Annabelle, I need to ask you this. Now, we mentioned about Trinity, who's into her TikToks. Have you been hooked? Has she tried to hook you into that?
No, I actually haven't been involved in any of her TikToks. So you won't see me in the videos, but Tessie loved to get involved. So did Zoe and Maddie Hunter, Cleo. Yeah, there's probably about half the team that do.
Any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
They're not exciting ones, but I like to put my shoes on, and like shoes and socks on in a certain order. Put on the left foot first, and then the right foot, etc. I like to have my water bottle like facing. I suppose I got my name on it, as you can see. So I like that facing out towards the court with the towel over the back of the chair. But yeah, nothing too out of the blue. We have our own lollies in little bags. Each of us have our own lolly bag for the game with our name on it. So that's pretty nice.
I'm quite similar. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I always strap my left foot or my left ankle before my right ankle. But other than that, I don't have too much else.
What have both of you learnt from each other on and off the netball court?
On the court, it's I think learning from just like both teams learn a lot from each other. Definitely learn how to defend in the circle from Annabelle. Not that I can, but I learn a lot in terms of how they need to work, like the GK and GD need to work as well as with the people in front of them. So if I'm ever in center, it helps me to understand what they're doing, but also when I'm attacking against it, I suppose it helps me to know what defenders might be thinking. So that definitely helps me on the court.
Definitely learned prelims from Con. He's great at his prelims and always manages to then get away from his defender quicker. So whenever, it's happened quite a bit recently in pre-season in particular, that I've ended up defending Connor, and it's been a real struggle because he always seems to get out over me, in front of me, before I can even think about defending him. So yeah, his speed, his athleticism definitely is something that I definitely admire.
Off the court, I think, I admire Annabelle's company. I suppose we have lots of times where we socialize as in our teams together. So any opportunity we get outside of netball, even though we'll probably still end up talking about netball, is pretty it's pretty good. It's definitely one of the things that makes us such a good club, is getting to hang out with each other outside of netball. So any opportunity is really good.
Absolutely. One of our club values is spirit, and I think that we all embody that really well in the way that we bring energy to trainings and games to build that and strengthen those relationships, and then they transition really well to the off court as well. So it's a great club to be involved with.
Now, obviously, once the Opens had their winning Premiership team photo, I know you had a whole group one, the whole squad one with the 20s, the men's and the Opens. Was it easy to get one in the team photo, or how difficult was it? I
can't remember. It would have been pretty difficult. We all would have just thrown ourselves in there. The camera person probably just had to keep taking steps back and further back and further back and further back to get everyone in shot. But yeah, I think everyone made it in. So it was a pretty special day.
I just remember it being so chaotic. Everyone was kind of in different positions. It wasn't like a normal photo where you've got your 3-4 lines of people all together. Everyone just threw themselves in. Yeah, there's people
just like throwing their arms up, trying to grab the cup and stuff like that. It was all over the shop, holding their medals like this, holding the number one up. Yeah, it was crazy.
Both of you, thank you so much for giving up some of your time to join us. It's awesome. Reminiscing the Premiership success that you had this year. Well deserved. You clean swept the competition, which is a fantastic feat. Ellie's probably the second time it's happened over there in WA. And hopefully next year you can continue the tradition and make it back-to-back in all 3 grades next year.
That's the goal, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's do it, Connor.
Thanks so much for having us. It was awesome.
And that's Annabelle and Connor there joining us from the Western Raw, of course, Premiership teams in the WANL competition. Of course, you want to support the Mighty Raw in 2023. We'll put all the details up on how you can get involved in the Raw family. There's more on the Smashport show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.